Welcome back, everyone, to my Let's Play of Dragon Quest V. Last episode, Bean and his father Pampas escorted Bianca and her mother back to Al Kappa here, and they gave the medicine that Duncan needed to get over his cold. Our characters, Bean and Bianca, they saw that there was a bunch of kids. They were teasing this cat, and Bianca stepped in and said, "Hey, you shouldn't be teasing that cat." And the kids said, "Hey, we'll stop teasing the cat if you defeat these ghosts in this palace." So we were going to go to that palace to try to defeat these ghosts so we can save this cat that's getting picked on. And we did some level grinding in the meantime, got a few levels, and got mainly all the equipment that I needed at all the shops. Took about an hour. The only thing I did not get was the hairband, and I'm going to get the hairband right now. The hairband is only accessible during the day, so what you can do is you can just go back to the inn, stay, heal yourself up. Then during the daytime here, you want to go buy the hairband. That'll go for like his helmet, basically, for Bianca, and then we'll give it to her, and then we'll be ready to do our adventuring. To do that adventuring, we're going to have to just go talk with Bianca. And she basically just asks us, like, "Hey, you want to go out adventuring tonight again?" We say yes, and she'll pick us up in our room at night when we can sneak out of the town. Good thing Bean didn't catch the cold that Duncan had. Yeah, but Papas has, though, so that's why we are free to adventure, because he's recovering in bed. So let's give that hairband to Bianca, and I'm going to show off all the stuff that I got. As you can see, they got all the best equipment that they can, and that'll definitely help us get through this next dungeon that we got. But before we go through this next dungeon, I'm going to just walk around the overworld, show off the area that we're in, and show off some new enemies. So, yeah, the plot is kind of railroading us to go to this area, and also the land itself is going to prevent us from really exploring too much of the world. So let's sneak on out of here. And we're gonna just like to explore the world a little bit, find a whole bunch of new monsters, and then we'll get off to Lenoire Palace, where the ghosts are. So there's two ways to get to Lenoire Palace. You can go to the left and then up, or you can go north, cross a bridge, and then go west. Either way will take you there. Probably the easier way is to go west than north, because there's more like grass, and grass has a smaller encounter rate than like the desert and hills and forests that we'll get if we go to the north and west. Here we got a new enemy here, these goblin rats. Taken down pretty easily with Bianca's fireball spell and a combination of with Bean's boomerang. The boomerang hits all enemies on the screen. Bianca's whip will hit every enemy in a group. So we got some two area of attack spells there, or two weapons that attack groups. So these blaze lizards, because they use fire, they are strong against fire. So we're not going to do a lot of damage with the fireball spell of Bianca's, so it's better to use the decrease spell, which lowers their defense and allows them to pretty much be taken out in 2 physical hits. So here's that port where we first came to in the beginning of the game. There's no boat, so we can't float around anywhere. Yeah, we were told this port was pretty tiny, so yeah, not a lot of traffic is going to be coming through here, so yep, no boat. And if we go to the northeast, there'll be a checkpoint, but there'll be a guard blocking the entrance. He won't let us through. To the south, in the next generation, when we're teenagers, there'll be a bridge that'll open up the areas of the south, but for right now, the south is going to be blocked off. But we're still going to just walk around there just to get some experience and see what things are like. So you got a baby panther there on the right. We defeated them. That's basically what the that cat that we're going to get is going to be. A baby panther. And it'll join our party. We'll give you a preview of how Bean in the second generation will be able to recruit monsters to adventure with him. Before you lies the mighty kingdom of Reinhardt. Eldersley, you're trying planning on running away, are you? So, yeah, that guy blocks it, and like I said, we can't, it won't turn into daylight while we're walking around. Like we saw in Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 4, as you walked around, time changed. But right now, the game is, time ain't really passing. The only way to pass the time is to go back to the inn and sleep and recover. Otherwise, Papas would wake up and he'd be like, "Where's my son at?" And Duncan would probably wonder where's his daughter Bianca's at. So we're going to see over to the left here a little bit. There'll be a one square tile of water. That's where the bridge will be in the next generation. But the toughest enemies are going to be around here and this area to the south. The laughing grass. It'd be nice if they dropped the Acorn of Magic. That increases your max magic points. Wouldn't necessarily be very good for Bean, though. Bean's going to mainly be a physical attacker for most of the game. There will be some characters, though, that are going to go into the standard, like, wizard-type class. Bianca's kind of like a magic knight. The red mage in Final Fantasy. Head into the mountains here. You can run into some magician enemies there. They're probably pretty tough too. They can cast an ice spell, which is interesting because later on in the game, you can recruit magicians to be in your party, and they don't get any ice spells. They mainly cast fire spells, like Bianca does. The blaze, the fireball spells. There's another type of wizard, a sea wizard, the nearest, and they specialize in the ice type spells. Snowstorm, Ice Bolt. Yeah, the wizard will cast Ice Bolt as an enemy, but not as a party member. So to the south there's Alpaca, where Bianca's from. So like I said, we're going to go show off the way to go to the north, and then west. Go north through a whole bunch of mountains, through the little desert beach area type here. And then there is Lenoire Castle. And that's pretty much the only place we can go to adventuring, because I'm going to show off right up here. All these other places just lead to all dead ends. There's not even like a little village or anywhere else to explore. No caves, nothing, just dead ends. So, yeah, this world, compared to like Dragon Quest 3, it's kind of empty. There's a lot of roaming around where large stretches of land that nothing happening. Well, like when we were in Dragon Quest 3, you know, you get to Romilly, and then you had a small village to the north, you had an optional village, Nanols a little further north, then you had the Elf Village, and then the Dream Cave, you know, all kind of optional areas, but there's extra stuff to do. Here, the game is just really railroading us right now in the first generation here. So I'm just going to head back to Alpaca. So there it is. Like I said, you could have went north through the mountains and the beach. But like I said, the easier way is probably to go to the west, because you can stay in more grassland tiles, which has a lower encounter rate. And if you want, you could stay at the inn, heal yourself up. But our characters with all the good armor and the levels that we got, gaining all that armor and weaponry, are going to be more than capable of handling the enemies. So we don't necessarily have to go into this palace with full strength. Of course, we're going to make things a little difficult on us here. Of Of course, the palace is not going to be open. The door is going to be locked from the inside, so we're going to have to go around. Look, there's a ladder right to the roof, but unfortunately, once we get into the roof, it's going to be trapped. These boomerangs are really nice for taking out all those enemies, combined with Bianca's whip that hits every group of enemies. So like when I'm in a group, see how the Babbles are grouped together? It says Babble 2. That means it's a group. Now if it was Babble 1, then the Babbles, even though they're the same, they're not a group. But a group is basically anyone that has a number higher than 1 on it. So we get in here and we step inside and we're locked inside. Try to open the gates and they won't open. So we are forced to go down. There's a bunch of skeletons here. They're gonna come to life, and unfortunately they will not let us fight the skeletons. Skeletons are pretty tough enemies in the first Dragon Quest. Gotta wait until you hit the sleep spell at level 7 before we can start taking them on. They mark a pretty high change in enemies. Empty chest. Wing of the Wyvern. And we can go down those steps to the right there, or we can just take a shortcut and hop down the floor. Either way, we'll end up in this room. Head out this door here. And we hear some noise. Look at the grave, and here lies Bean, but we can't read that. Check, here lies Bianca, and Bianca appears. So even though we can't read, we managed to, I guess, dig her out. And that should be Bianca saying that, because remember, usually in Dragon Quest games, you hear her as a silent protagonist. So, but I guess they, unfortunately, when they did the translation, this is one of like the first games earlier translated, so, yeah, it's not necessarily the greatest translation, but Bianca rejoins us, and something's changed here. Now there's this lady in the upper left corner. We talk with her, and stuff moves around. And give us back our graves, whatever that means. Well, we'll discover that, what that means in a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit more exploring. Hey, there's that lady's ghost again. Let's go talk with her. Nothing in those drawers, so that's good. Please, please help us retake our graves. That we could not have children. We lived in this small castle, just the two of us. But we were so happy together. Oh, please help us. Please help Eric and I rest in peace. So something is disturbing them. I guess maybe something dug up their graves, because the graves are empty and we're there for Bean and Bianca to be in. So we end up in this dark hallway. Basically, it's basically an L-shaped or 7-shaped hallway. So just head over to the right a little bit, and then just start bumping the wall. Then you just head to the south, and you'll end up in a room here. And eventually we're going to find a torch that will allow us to see in that room, and then there's actually a staircase. Check the jar, you get a medical herb. And now we see the ghost of a king. We saw the ghost of the queen earlier. Now you have to talk with this ghost for the torch to appear. But the torch is in the kitchen. But in order to get the torch to appear, we have to talk with the king first, and then he'll basically let us know that, like, hey, I left the torch in the kitchen. Now if we tell him that we're not going to help him, well, just right then thunder crashes. And he doesn't hear us because the thunder, I guess, basically drowned out us saying, no, we're not going to help you. And we are stuck basically telling him it's a bust thou must situation where we are forced to help him, but that's okay because we're good adventurers. We want to help people. But once the king tells us that, hey, I left the torch in the kitchen, and we're going to go check this pot here, and that's going to give us our torch. And the torch is a multi-use item. It's not like Dragon Quest 1 where you just use the torch once and then you had to buy new ones. They got rid of torches in Dragon Quest 2, 3, and 4. And we can kind of get rid of this torch eventually then later too. Unfortunately, I ended up throwing out the wrong thing. I should have just thrown out a medical herb, but I pressed the button too quickly and I threw away the cypress stick. But like I said, we want to keep that cypress stick for that Easter egg, where you automatically get critical hits and can get enemies to join you. That's only in the second and third generation, but in the second generation you won't be able to buy cypress sticks or the sharpened bones anywhere, so you have to bring them with you from the first generation. So when we get back to Santa Rosa, that first village we were in, we're going to have to buy a cypress stick there. Some new enemies there, the ghosts and the candles. Speaking of candles, we have our torch. And that torch will allow us to find the staircase in this hallway that we're in. And we will do that in our next episode. So come back in the next episode where we finally finish exploring this castle. Take care, have a good one. Bye.